Hey, it's still Zombie Month on the franchise, and we'll try to keep things a little bit more lively for you than the lives of some of these fellas. Am I right? All right. Hey, I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg, and over there is Logan B. Adair.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hope you're doing well this week.
They're doing great. All right. Well, we've got two more zombie movies to catch you up with. Day of the Dead from 1985, and then the Night of the Living Dead remake, the color remake by Tom Savini and George Romero from 1990, which is the first, I realized while I was watching it, the first zombie thing I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah, was this remake. I remember my parents went away for the weekend. I was a little kid, and my sister decided she was going to rent horror movies. Okay. So she goes to the Blockbuster. She brings back 3 movies, and I remember all 3. Okay. It was this movie, the Blob, the remake of The Blob from the late 80s, and also Alien 3 for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that was the first Alien movie I ever saw because of that.
Wow. So huge night. Your first alien movie, your first zombie movie.
Yeah. What an eye opener. And I think my favorite of the 3 was that Blob one.
Even still?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it though. Day of the Dead. Going back in time to 1985, the year before I was born. Almost exactly, because it came out July 19th, 1985, and my birthday, of course, is July 31st. I'll be accepting presents at Venmo at Daniel-Ehrenberg-1. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. I had to look that up recently, so it's top of mind. All right. So Dawn of the Dead was the last one. It happened in 1978. He worked with Savini, wanted to work with Savini again. He got this great opportunity and apparently handed in a 200-page script.
Sounds like a lot.
It was a lot. It was like Gone with the Wind. That's what he referred to it as, the Gone with the Wind of zombie films. And
Gone with the Dead, they should have called it.
or Dawn of the Wind. All right. So the studio is like, get the fuck out of here, make it shorter, and also, by the way, this would cost double what we're actually going to give you. So make it much shorter and cut everything out of it. And so George Romero was like, well, fuck, fine. So he did. He wrote an 88-page version of it, which is less than half of 200, if my math is correct.
Yeah.
And he got it down to a $4 million budget. So this thing finally comes out July of 85. It cost $4 million to make, and it grossed $34 million. But most of that shit was overseas, dude. It tanked here. It only made $5 million in America. It came in at number 115 at the domestic box office. It made less money than Gymkata, which is like a joke movie.
Yeah, I would have gone to see this. They messed up.
Of course. The Stranger kids went to see it.
What?
There's an episode of Stranger Things where they go see Day of the Dead.
Okay. You mean Stranger Kids?
Yeah, the Stranger Kids.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty cool. I don't remember that. Was that season 4? I didn't watch that one.
I don't remember, to be honest, but I remember them all going. They were very excited.
Dustin, he was like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, he was there with his face, and the black kid was there, and probably 11, right? That's a character.
Oh, yeah.
She's engaged. How stupid is that?
Come on.
Did you hear about that?
We talked about it.
On the podcast?
I don't know.
Dude, come on. Do we really want Millie Bobby Brown to be like a 26-year-old divorcee? Because that's what's about to happen.
You don't know.
I know.
No, you don't.
Come on. All right. This movie was nominated for a Saturn Award, Logan.
Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa! Sci-fi best of films.
Best makeup. Your reaction?
What, it didn't win? It didn't win that?
It did win, yeah.
Oh, it did win.
Yeah, Tom Savini won that award. Well, he was pretty beloved by the time Day of the Dead came out. Dawn of the Dead was kind of like the first thing he ever did, that was his breakthrough. I think he had done other things before that, but that was his breakthrough. But then, since that had come out, he created Jason. So, he was kind of a big name.
He created Jason?
He did the makeup for the original Friday the 13th, then he came back to kill him, of course, in Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Part 4 of, I think, 11 or something. 12.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so you're talking about Tom Savini's makeup in this one? Is his breakthrough?
No, Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, because this one looks way, 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 way better than Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, well, he was new in Dawn of the Dead. By this time, he was already kind of a legend in his field. I agree that the makeup looks better in this one. It's probably the best looking fucking zombie makeup ever.
Yeah, maybe the way everybody splits apart and the heads come off and everything. It's really something.
It's so gross. I read that Tom Savini was a war photographer in Vietnam. And that's why he knows how gross dead bodies should look.
Yeah, well, he nailed it.
Yeah. He's using that horror for good. All right, so let's talk about it. I gotta say, watching it last night, I think this might be my favorite Dead movie.
I like it.
I think Dawn of the Dead, that's the best one. If you're gonna watch one of these movies, watch that one. But I think this one is my fave.
Why is that one better?
I don't know. It's just got more to say about society. The mall is such a great setting. It's new. It did a lot of.
It has a lot to say about jerks being jerks.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I don't know. I think maybe also I'm just accepting that. Dawn of the Dead has just always been considered a masterpiece or whatever. But I think Day of the Dead's underrated.
Yeah, I don't really know how people view these, but I thought this was great. I didn't think this was a step down or anything. I thought the first three, I thought this was one of the greater trilogies that's ever been. Along with Guardians of the Galaxy. Stay tuned tomorrow.
Hey,
I love all three of these movies. I think they're all great.
Yeah. All right. So it starts out. We get a. Oh well, first it's her in that cell, right? And it's a dream sequence.
Right. They show a calendar, and then at the end they show the calendar again. That it's I don't really know what that was about. I guess to show that they lived. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just to show that it was a few days later or whatever.
Yeah.
They got past October.
Yeah. Great job.
Yeah. So, and the hands come through the walls. What do you think?
Shout out Jenny Calendar, by the way.
Oh my god,
right,
dude! Any excuse.
I love Jenny Calendar.
Any fuck. You know what I noticed? I'll give you a Buffy reference. That's salient. All right, John Vulich. Tom Savini directed the Night of the Living Dead remake that we're about to cover. And so he couldn't be the head makeup guy. So he got this fella, John Vulich, to do it. And then he was later the head makeup guy on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. How about that?
That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that. Why didn't he get Greg Nicotero to do it?
That's a good question. Maybe he was off doing something else. But he is in this movie.
Yeah, which I never knew.
Yeah, he's that head. Remember when they find that head?
I think they show him at one point as a living person.
No, I know, but that's what you remember. His fucking severed head.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool to see him.
All right, but anyway, our main character is this girl Lori Card. Well, the character is Sarah Bowman, and the actress is Lori Cardille, and she, of course, is a real nepo baby of the zombie world. Okay, because I don't know if you paid attention to the credits of Night of the Living Dead. Did you notice that there was a guy named Chili Billy?
I didn't.
Okay, well, I did. I clocked that immediately. I was like, what a great nickname. And I'm always impressed by guys whose nicknames are so a part of them that they get credited with the nickname, you know?
Yeah.
So Chili Billy, I was like, how do you get that? So I looked him up. He was like late night horror host in Pittsburgh, like a local Pittsburgh horror host in the 60s. And they put him in Night of the Living Dead as like a newsman. You know, he's like delivering some of the info. Okay. And I gotta say, this actress who plays Sarah is Chili Billy's daughter.
Wow. I thought she was good, though. I really liked Sarah.
I think the performance is not good, but
I think she's real tough.
But she is tough. I like the character. I think she's a good final girl or what have you. That had become a trope by this point. And but I think some of the line readings aren't all there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
Right. So we meet her. She's in a helicopter with a crew of 3 guys. They're floating around Florida. This movie takes place in Florida because that's where George Romero was living at the time. And he was like, can I shoot just near my house? And they were like, fine.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's like, remember that one time when Paul Blart was like, you guys got to come to me?
No.
You don't remember that? Kevin James was like,
that's you guys. That's not on Paul Blart though. That was.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, Kevin James. When they did the sitcom Kevin Can Wait, he insisted on them building a sitcom studio on Long Island so he could just do it near his house.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So the other guys we meet are we got who are they?
There's the guy that has a flask. I liked him.
Flask guy for sure.
McDermott.
Yeah, right. Good call, man. And then there's also Flyboy.
Another Flyboy. Wasn't there a Flyboy in the last one, Dawn of the Dead?
Oh yeah, I think it was that blonde dude.
No, I think it was the boyfriend that turns into
you're totally right. It was that.
He was Flyboy.
Yeah, he was.
Who's John? He's the Jamaican guy.
Yeah. Now he's great, obviously. What an incredible Jamaican accent.
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
I mean,
Terry Alexander.
It is a crazy accent.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he was like, I'm gonna do this accent. And George Romero was
unnecessary.
And I know, and Romero was like, perfect, put it in the movie. I think the only reason it's there is because he's like, why don't we just take the helicopter to a tropical climate, man? And
that's good.
Thank you. And he would know something about tropical climates as a Jamaican fellow.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you're making sense, so can't argue that.
Yeah, I still don't think it was necessary, but I think that's why it was
I understand.
There. Yeah.
I understand.
All right, and then
I liked Rhodes, the main villain.
Wait, I'm not up to Rhodes.
Sorry, I thought we were going to the cast.
Well, we were. The other guy in the 4 of them on the helicopter though was Salazar, of course, who is the dude Sarah's fucking. Right?
Who the hell is Salazar?
Miguel Salazar.
Oh, I see Miguel, and I don't see Salazar.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, right. And he's like a pussy, right? He like
whoa,
job, and they're like, oh, I bleeped it. So you
better not have bleeped that.
And they're like, get him out of here. He's putting people in danger, right? He's that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, the only reason you're keeping him on the team is because of his big dick. You love sucking that dick every night, and that's why he's here. This yellow spick.
What was that? What was that about?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Now,
That was wild.
that S slur I just said, I won't say it again, but it is said like 1,000,000 times in this movie, and which is sort of
What's the
ironic.
yellow thing also?
Well, I'm about to get there. I thought it was ironic too because it's a movie called Day of the Dead that has nothing to do with the Mexican holiday Day of the Dead, and then there's just a fucking Hispanic fucking slur the entire movie. All right, and then they're calling him Yellow, which I always thought means like you're a wuss, right? You're yellow. You're a coward.
That's like a Back to the Future thing.
Exactly. Right? Don't call me yellow.
Right. That's the third one?
That's the third one, yeah. But also...
What's a better third one, that or this? This, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's not even close. That really.
No, I really like that third Back to the Future.
Me too, but I thought this was great.
Yeah,
especially as a third one. I think that one. I think as a third one. I think this is like as an evolution in the trilogy. I think this one's better. I think.
Well, they did Back to the Future 2 and 3 back to back. So It's not really an evolution. It's kind of just like they made a really long second one. But I'll tell you. In terms of slurs, Logan, I've always thought that yellow is an Asian slur. Is it not?
That's what my initial thought was. And then I looked at him in the net. I was like, I didn't remember this guy being Asian. And then in the next scene, I looked at him and he wasn't. To my knowledge, that I maybe I'm wrong, but
no,
I didn't really understand.
His name's Miguel. The fella, he's a brown man.
Yeah, he should have said that.
Yeah,
No, he shouldn't have said that.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't really understand what they were going for. I mean, I guess they just going for these guys are all jerks.
Right. But all the military guys are fucking asshole Neanderthals and shit. Like, none of them were ever not horrible for like a single second of the movie. Like, they're talking about her fucking him and her comeback is like, you guys are like fucking Neanderthal throwbacks. And then the response to that is like, yeah, but you know what you say about throwbacks? Their fucking dicks are big. It's like insane.
Yeah. It was like Rob Zombie characters.
They do. You're right. The military guys in this movie talk like Rob Zombie characters.
Yeah, I really did have that thought at one point. They are.
And Rob Zombie loves these movies. So maybe he was very influenced by the dialogue in this film.
Has he gone on record? He loves these?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, a bunch of those actors show up in Rob Zombie shit.
You mean the Halloween remake?
No, I meant the Night of Living Dead remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of those actors, like the dude who plays, They're Coming to Get You, Barbara, Johnny, that guy at the beginning of the movie. He's one of the Rob Zombie, like. Those weirdo guys.
I haven't seen any of his like Devil's Rejects or From Hell.
Well, he's one of them. He's one of the Devil's Rejects.
All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a question.
Please ask me.
The doctor in this movie, his name is Logan, right?
Yeah.
And he's working on. He has this little buddy that he has trained a little bit named Bub, and I know you're a huge X-Men fan. Isn't Bub a thing that Wolverine says all the time?
Oh my god, I never put this together.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but
that's the first thing I thought of.
You're totally right. I wonder if Romero was reading Chris Claremont's run on X-Men at this time.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Yeah, he's got a Dr. Logan who names his pet zombie Bub.
Yeah.
That is wild, dude.
Let me know, Romero.
Incredible catch. Well, he's dead, unfortunately.
Oh, when did he die?
In 2017, I think. So, did any nerd ask him this at some kind of horror convention at some point? Because if not, then I think, Logan, you deserve a prize.
Thank you. Let me know, listeners.
Yeah.
Let me know if you've asked him this.
Yeah. All right.
His answer was.
I love that character, by the way, Logan. That's what
I love Bub.
Yeah, I do too. And he's the star of the movie. He's on the cover, like
Yeah,
the
like
DVD
the daughter from
cover.
the first one.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know that daughter's still acting? Like,
Really?
yeah, I looked her up, and she had kind of a good acting career.
Why did they? We'll get into like some of the similarities and differences in the next movie. Why did they change her character's name for the next movie? Her name's Karen in the first movie, and then her name is. I mean, it's her name's Sarah, which is also the name of this character. I have a lot of problems with that character specifically's name, but I guess we just got into it. Her name's Sarah, which is this character's name. Why'd they change it?
Maybe Romero was like, "Yo, every Karen I've ever met's an unsympathetic cunt. Let me instead name her Sarah," which, you know, there are a lot of nice Sarahs out there.
I thought that was a weird choice, but I guess you just explained it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I used to have a friend named Karen. And I think about her sometimes, like how she's coping with.
Yeah, I think that name's taking it worse than any name.
Yeah, I know, man. It's rough. All right, and she wasn't even white, which is horrible for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, so the main
We're talking
setting,
about Logan.
right? Well, the main setting of this movie is like a bunker during
Yeah,
the
great
zombie
setting.
apocalypse, and you know, America has just been fucking wiped.
It's like that
out.
challenge
They go-
season where they're in the bunker.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I do remember
it's like
that.
Spies, Lies, and Allies.
Yeah,
one of those
yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
It's not that one, but it's like one of those.
They
around
all
there.
kind of went insane.
Yeah, they hate that one.
Yeah. All right. So,
Anyway, sorry.
but they go out and there's like they don't even come across any human life. Like zombies are outnumbering humanity in the world at this point, and so they're in this bunker. It's like a science team, and they're supposed to be protected by a military team. But the military team has recently lost one of its numbers, and so they're kind of fucking going crazy. Like, why are we helping these assholes? They're not making any progress. They're not finding a cure or anything. They're just doing dumb experiments and shit. And, you know, you kind of see their point, but also, shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. You're a military guy.
Yeah, dum.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
No, I'm not. So, you know, you're rooting for the science squad, but also you got this Logan fellow who really does seem like a mad scientist, and so it's kind of like shit's degenerating at a rapid pace, and it's gonna come to a head real soon.
But he was like discovering cool shit. Like they can survive without all their organs if they have their brains still, and you can sort of control them. And he's got Bub, and like Bub is living. Well, I mean, not living proof, but he's proof he's proof that there's that it's working, right? Like
They're learning.
Yeah, but I don't know what their beef
Even
is
the
with this guy.
military guys are able to see that they're learning because remember they say like they're scared to come out now, like
Right.
because they know we kill them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that big contraption they got, right?
What, that like dog collar thing?
Yeah, like the whole thing where you lock them in the first thing and then you open the second thing and it brings them in and you got the collar on them. And that's a not to like bring up every Walking Dead thing, but that's obviously a thing they take in The Walking Dead.
Everything's taken in The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
this. I mean,
Yeah.
like all this whole like remember that CDC episode in like season 1 of Walking
Of
Dead?
course.
That's just like a rip off of this.
They referenced the CDC at some point. In
they?
Atlanta. No, that's in the remake. The guy's watching
Oh,
TV
okay.
and they're like,
Oh,
"The
yeah,
CDC
yeah.
in Atlanta."
Yeah, I did notice that. All right, so I like the scene where they're outside, the establishing shot of like what's going on above the bunker, and you see that newspaper that just says "The Dead Walk."
Yeah, all right. I
Yeah.
have no problem with that.
No, I of course enjoy that as a Resident Evil fan because they used that newspaper in one of the Resident Evil movies. Same
The
headline.
same thing.
Yeah. And I got excited by this because I don't know that I ever realized before there's a Gorillaz song. Do you know the band The Gorillaz?
Vaguely.
Oh, come on. They're great. So
You want me to lie and say, yeah, I love them?
No, I guess not. So on their first album, they have a song called M1A1, which I want you to make the outro of this episode.
Okay.
And at the beginning of that, you hear them you hear like a sample, and I always thought it was from like a war movie or something, because it's them going, "Is there anybody out there? Hello? Is there anybody out there?" And it's not. It's from this.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I got real pumped by that. Gorillas. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
all
didn't
right.
notice.
Well, I know. You wouldn't. That's fine. But all right. So, I mean, do you have any other characters you want to get into?
Yeah, I mean, there's these two other military characters. One of them's gonna be my LVP. I don't want to spoil too much. But
I
guess
know
just
who it
did.
is. Rickles.
Who is it? Yep, Rickles sucks.
Yeah, Rickles sucks, man. Like, Rickles
so bad.
seems subordinate to Steel. And if you're subordinate to Steel, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I agree, and just the actor also. Like the character sucked, but also the actor I thought was the worst one out of everybody.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You didn't think so?
Um,
You hated the woman. You said the woman's the worst actor.
No, I think there's a lot of overacting in this movie.
Well, the Jamaican accent's got to be number one.
Yeah, exactly. See, there's a lot like
But I loved that guy. That guy was so cool. He's
the
not the
acting
LVP.
leaves something to be desired in this film. But I gotta say, I do. Maybe my MVP is that Captain Rhodes fella. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I tried talking about him earlier.
Yeah, I
and he cut me
know.
off.
Yeah,
He was cool.
I had other shit to set up, but yeah, now
Yeah, I
we can talk
understand.
about him.
He was awesome. He was really great. I was really impressed with him.
Yeah,
Not my MVP, but he's good. Maybe MVP.
You know, that actor was in Dawn of the Dead too, as like a different character, I think.
Wow, I didn't notice.
Yeah, me neither. Joseph Pilato is the name of that actor, by the way.
All right.
He passed
We
away
agree.
recently too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's sad. We agree Steele better than Rickles.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, great. They were sort of like Crab and Goyle-y a little bit. I don't know which one's which. I forget who's who.
Well, Steele's
But-
the fat one.
Yeah, but I forget which who's Crab, who's Goyle.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
One of them's in
Yeah.
prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then you got Dr. Ted. He's another character who's hanging around this movie.
Really?
He-
There's
he-
another doctor?
Yeah, he's sort of cannon fodder. Remember, there's that scene where like they all like go to that meeting, and Rhodes is like, "Hey, maybe I kill you all. How about that?" And the lady's like, "Do we have any food? I'm hungry." And he's like, "Instead of food, how about I fucking murder you?"
Yeah. And what did that have to do with that doctor?
I'm just
they
saying,
kill that doctor?
he has a lot to do in that scene.
Oh, okay. I don't really remember him that too much. I remember they kill Logan at one point. They just flat out murder him. What happens is they realize like he's been also testing on military guys that died. And
Yes.
they're like, whoa, ow, you crossed the line. So they kill him, and then they're left with no scientist. And then Bub's like starts killing them all. Right?
Yeah.
That's the rest of the movie.
Right. Well, they're like, they're like, well, let's get the fuck out of here. And then it's basically like a race to the helicopter. Like the military guys are like, let's fuck off in that helicopter, and the remaining scientists are like, hey, let's fuck off in that helicopter. And so they're both like, the military guys at first like try to kidnap the one dude who knows how to drive a helicopter, Jamaican fella.
Yeah.
And
John.
yeah.
What was that one scene where we go to his backyard?
Well, I liked that.
That was crazy. I forgot about that.
That wasn't a backyard. I think it was like a trailer in
Yeah, but we went in in and then through the back, and he had like a fenced off area in the back. It looked like.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
That's
that.
what I thought it was. I thought it was like his backyard.
Yeah, that was he created a little like sort of a tiki bar for himself.
I enjoyed it. It was just really weird moment.
Yeah, well, because he's Jamaican, he loves tiki bars.
Right, I didn't put that together.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Bub some more, huh?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, so that's like Logan's prize zombie. He's like learning how to do shit. He gives him a razor and he like tries to shave, right? He gives him a copy of Salem's Lot by Stephen King, and he tries to read through that. It's like, holy shit, the zombie's really getting it. And then we find out Bub used to be military because he salutes Rhodes.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, "Fuck off!" And then in the end, he salutes him again. That's awesome.
When he
I love
kills him.
Bub. Bub's
Imagine
cool.
getting shot by a zombie and that's how you die. That's a miserable way to die.
Well, I think he died like got eaten by other zombies.
Well, of
right?
course, but I mean, he got cornered by a zombie with a fucking gun.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal way to go.
Yeah, I mean,
What happened? Did he run out of ammo?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it was like the one zombie in the world that knows how to fire a gun, and he's got to
Not
end up
accurate,
in
though.
his hallway. Yeah, but he still got capped a couple times.
Oh, really? He actually got it?
Yeah, he got him.
I guess so. I remember him running kind of weird. He's probably hit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right.
I love that salute though. That the callback to the salute. That was awesome.
Yeah, because he was so disrespectful earlier. Rhodes went, "Salute my ass,"
Yeah.
and it's like he's gonna salute your fucking ass as it's getting kicked off into the netherworld, bitch.
Do you like the ending where they're on the beach?
Of course, I love that. Yeah, it looks like a fucking beer commercial.
Oh, I thought it looked like that Buffy episode with Angel
Oh.
on that beach.
No, I guess I was thinking. Remember that run of Corona commercials where they're just like, they
Does a
got
Snoop
little
Dogg do him now? He's on the beach.
What?
Like Andy Samberg? Aren't there Corona commercials with Snoop and Andy Samberg on the beach?
I don't remember that, man.
I think that there are. Maybe it's not Corona. I think it is though.
All right. Who's your favorite of the? Oh, you know why they really turned against that doctor is because they were feeding it Bub like as a reward for like doing good stuff, for like learning. They were feeding him parts of military guys.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't that they were testing on one; they were feeding him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a little more disrespectful, probably.
Yeah, but you know, I still think he supported the troops.
Yeah. Who? Which Bob
They
or
were
Logan?
dead. I just think he's a scientist. He's like, these are fucking corpses at this point. Who gives
No,
a
I'm
shit?
Team Logan. You seem like you were Team Military earlier, kind of.
No, I'm never team
You were
military.
like, I sort of saw what they were talking about with Logan. Like Logan's taking
No,
forever, not making progress. Or whatever.
I understand it from their perspective, but I'm always team just like let scientists do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I'm Team Logan. All the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course you are. It's your name. Your namesake.
That's not actually my name. I've been lying this whole time.
I would kill you.
My name's actually George Romero.
Oh my god, it's so nice. Hey, let me ask you a question. When you
Yeah.
came up with the character Bub, were you reading a lot of Wolverine comics at that time?
Yes, I was.
Oh wow. Oh my. Well, we got our answer.
There we go.
All right.
I give it 4 stars. Are we
Wait.
done?
Who was your favorite zombie?
Bob.
Oh wait, but what about the clown?
All
There was one dressed as a clown.
right, I kind of remember that.
All right.
No, Bob's my favorite.
Well,
Bob's my-
I guess Bub. Bub is kind of the MVP of the movie.
yeah, he's my MVP. That's what I wrote.
Oh, right on. Okay.
I wrote down a lot of names. I liked Bub. I liked John. I liked McDermott. I liked the bad guy, Rhodes.
Yeah.
I like Sarah. Lots of names.
All that stuff. Yeah, so I too am gonna give it a 4, Logan, and I guess I'll give Rhodes my MVP just to be different, but an LVP. Yeah, I like your Rickles choice. I'm gonna go with him too.
Yeah, gotta go Rickles. Sorry, Rickles. All right.
But it's
Would you
just-
give Dawn of the Dead 5?
Yeah, I did.
4, 5, 4?
Yeah, but I love this one, man. Just like first of all, I like any movie
It's
where
so real.
right. It does. It really does. It feels like what would happen after a zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse. I love a trapped somewhere together movie.
Yes.
And like they're trapped in that mall together, but they can leave at any time. Here they really gotta like stay down in that bunker. And I like that it's like two warring sides. I'm always interested in like when like two ways of seeing the world clash. It's why Lost is one of my favorite shows, because there's the whole man of science, man of faith thing between Locke and Jack, and you know, some people are more with one than the other. And I'm always the man of science slogan, because I don't believe in God or basically anything supernatural.
Who in Lost is that character? Which side were you on Lost?
Jack.
Oh.
Matthew Fox.
So you hate Locke.
I like Locke is a fascinating character, but like I was never like, yeah, what that guy's doing is really what matters. Let's follow him. He should be the
Yeah.
leader.
All right. But Kate liked him, right? She liked both of them. There's like a love triangle there.
No.
What? I made that up?
Yeah, no, the love triangle with Kate was with Sawyer and Jack.
Oh, I think that's who I thought that was. Who's Locke? Oh, Locke is the stepfather.
Yeah, the stepfather, exactly.
Oh shit! I was thinking about the wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's the one I know
Orange in
that,
his mouth.
exactly. I know the 3 things you know about Lost, and he's the one with the orange in his mouth.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the next movie. Okay.
Yes, but I want to say, if you want to make the case that this is better, I think like sort of my problem with that one is with Dawn of the Dead is it's longer and there are less characters. I wish there was maybe an extra character. Also, we lose that friend halfway through or like 3/4
Yeah,
of
they
the way through.
rectify that in this one. Like, you like spending time with all these people.
Yeah, even if you hate them, they're all like terrible. They're very interesting. They're fascinating people.
Yeah.
And that one's more just like montagey about like what would happen, like fun mall kills and having fun in the mall. And this one was way more real, I felt like. And the zombies looked way better in this one. The last one was like put chalk on their face, smear it around a little bit. This one was like expert stuff. The best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I was thinking if I could watch a TV version of the George Romero zombie universe, I would want them to adapt this. And then when I was doing research for the podcast, I read that they did. There was a Sci-Fi Channel original series based on Day of the Dead.
I'm sure there's so many things of all of these, right? Anyone
Well,
can make anything.
Yeah, because it's in public domain. I read that Day of the Dead in particular has they've used it a lot. There was a prequel movie, like unofficial prequel in the 2000s. There have been 2 remakes and also that sci-fi series. But like none of those like ever got wide release. They all were like straight to DVD. So like we're gonna skip them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to look up which ones to watch again because I forgot, and every list is different. Like every list of like how to watch them is different. I sort of got confused, but I figured it out.
I'm glad you figured it out. I'm glad this wasn't another Apocalypse Now Redux situation.
No. Next week is what, the Dawn of the Dead remake, and then the first Romero.
Yeah.
Dawn comes about?
Dawn of the Dead remake by Zachy Boy Snyder and Land of the Dead by Romero.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not there yet. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. They remade this. Now, basically, the reason they remade this was money. Like Romero, since Night of the Living Dead's in public domain, he like doesn't make the money he should or he should have from this franchise. So he got wind that a studio was gonna do a Night of the Living Dead remake, and so Romero stepped in and was like, well, let me do it, man. I want to at least make the money from it. Yeah. So, but he didn't want to direct. He didn't want to be on set every day. He was doing other shit at the time. Monkey Shines, An Experiment in Fear. What a great film. And so he got his buddy Tom Savini to do it. Who, he was the head makeup guy on the last 2, and now he's going to go ahead and direct this. It's the only movie he's ever directed.
Really? This was the only one?
Still, yeah. He directed, up to this point, he had directed 3 episodes of a TV show called Tales from the Dark Side, which is an anthology series.
Yeah, I saw this was the first, but I thought he did more stuff.
No, never directed another movie again.
Well,
because this one kind of tanked, man.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I always liked it. It's the first zombie thing I ever saw, man. All my zombie knowledge is based on this movie. It came out October.
All of it? You never learned anything else?
No, every time I watch anything, I'm just like, what? How does this?
That didn't happen in Night of the Living Dead remake.
Exactly. All right. October 19th, 1990 was the release date. They had a budget of $4.2 million, and it only made $5.8 million worldwide. It's like really bad. It was number 116 at the American box office. It was nominated for 2 Saturn Awards, Logan, Best Horror Film and Best Makeup, but it lost both of those awards to The Silence of the Lambs, understandably. Yeah. All right, so it's a color remake, first of all. You know, as a kid, that's appealing. You don't want to watch black and white when you're a little kid.
Right. I hate when I hear adults on podcasts or something like, we want us to watch like a black and white movie.
Yeah, you should be over that by the time you're roughly 17.
Yes, maybe earlier than that.
Yeah.
Like 15.
Yeah. The same thing with subtitles.
Yeah, that same thing.
You should be over, like, foreign films should be fine after you're 17, and black and white movies should be fine. There's no difference. They're just
One
as
time you
enjoyable.
complained about silent movies, though. What's the difference?
I don't like silent movies.
What's the difference?
Because that's
They're so constrained in the story, you feel like, maybe?
like black and white. Once like color existed, right? People still made black and white movies because the aesthetic is cool and interesting, and in some cases works better for a particular movie. Once
Schindler's List.
Yeah, silent films were only silent back then because they didn't know how to do sound. You know, it's not like
They have like the title cards that come up.
fuck that. Like every movie I've ever seen,
I like it. I think it's fun.
that's like post silent film era where they were like, let's do a silent film. They suck. They fucking suck. And like I've seen silent films from that era that I can appreciate, like the beauty of, like Charlie Chaplin movies or like Metropolis or something. But you know, if I'm gonna watch a movie, I like it. I like the talkie talk.
All right, I'm sorry to upset you.
You're not upsetting me. I'm quite all right.
All right.
Um,
Can I bring something up before we get into
yes,
this one?
yeah.
I looked up every franchise you've ever done because I wanted to see if
Holy
this was correct.
shit! All right.
This is the first franchise in this show's history, at least, where the first 4 movies are released in completely different decades.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting. We had a 68, 78, 85, 90.
Yeah.
And Terminator comes close. We have it at 84, 91, 2003, and then 2009. So if that was 2010, they would also do it, but they didn't.
They
And then
shoulda
Deep Blue
waited.
Sea has 3 of them that are in different
Deep
decades.
Blue
So if they
Sea.
wait 10 years for 2030 and then make a new one, then they will also do it. So
Make it happen, boys.
Yeah, wait to make that 4th one.
Yeah. They should do a Deep Blue Sea reboot at some point with like catching up with LL.
Yeah, you think so? Thomas
Yeah.
Jane's still alive.
Yeah, get them both in there.
They're the only 2 that live.
I think it would be worth it. Their shark movies are still big. I just saw an ad for the Meg 2.
Yeah. They can't wait for that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And that's a
First
really big
weekend.
shark.
Huge, biggest one there is. That's not a shark though, is it? It's a megalodon.
I guess you're right, sir.
That's a megalodon.
Remember when it smashed into that window?
Of course. Of course I do.
What a great movie. All right. So this one straight up opens on "They're Coming to Get You, Barbara." Like it's before you even see a shot. It's over black.
Yeah, it's like audio. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
And you're like, holy shit, I guess I'm watching Night of the Living Dead, bro.
He says it a lot. He says it like so many times.
I know, because it's the classic line, you know. That's Bill Moseley from the Rob Zombie movies. And then you got Barbara, who, what's this actress name? I thought she was good.
It's a good question. I should have had the IMDb up.
Yeah, me too.
Before you asked that. Last thing I looked up was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So
Yeah, same. Patricia Tallman.
Yeah.
Okay? Patricia Tallman. I read that she's not really an actress. She's mostly a stunt lady. And, but she's gotten some acting work in her day. She's best known by nerds for being like a really important character in Babylon 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nerds don't love her from this.
I think this movie has like a cult following now, but it was underappreciated for many years. Yeah, nerds like her for Babylon 5, man. They love that J. Michael Straczynski space opera.
Okay.
I've never seen it. Maybe I should someday watch Babylon 5. Hey, if you're a listener and you've watched Babylon 5, let me know if you think I'd like it. You can put in the comments.
Johnny and Barbara, by the way, in the last movie, their names were spelled Johnnny and Barbra. And then in this one, they're spelled Johnnnie and then Barbara. So they mix up both the spellings of their names for this one.
Well, I gotta say, they definitely fucked up the spelling of Barbara in that original because there's clearly a second A. He says, "They're coming to get you, Barbara."
Yep. I had the same thought.
Yeah. All right.
Barbara, yep.
So, did you notice they simplified the grave stuff? Because it's just the dead mom this time.
Yes.
In the last one, it was like their mom was forcing them to go visit their dead dad's grave. And this one, there's like, well, we've got to go see our dead mom's grave.
But they still hated her, right? It's seemingly he was like, that bitch, she meant to get buried this far away, so we had to make the journey all the way out here. Like,
well,
they kept that in there.
Johnny has to be super unlikable because he dies right away.
And because his name's Johnny, they had to justify that name.
Johnny's. All right.
I forgot about that.
He does, but there's a bait and switch because you see the dude walking over and you think that's the zombie, good. Right? But it's not. And
that was just a creep? What was that guy?
What? I'm not sure.
He's just a weirdo?
Yeah, I think it was a guy like running from the zombies or something.
Oh.
And
did he warn them? I didn't remember that.
I don't remember. But he might have been injured or something.
I did notice, though. I was like, this guy's coming up way too fast. I'm not scared. I don't feel, like, tense in this moment. He's coming up too quick. And then he's, like a real guy. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Felt tense.
I thought it was off. Really?
Yeah, I felt tense. And then he walks by them. And then the second he walks by them, you see the zombie come in. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And then that neck crack. I thought they did a good job with that, too.
Yeah. Good job in the original, also. They handled that well there, too.
Yeah, but it's all done in like one shot because Savini's like an effects wizard in this one.
All
right. So it's the same shit, right? She goes down. I love Barbara's look. Just like it's so 1990, that like short red hair.
I love when she changes her look when she takes off that dress. She puts on the pants.
Yeah, and that white shirt. I'll tell you what, for the entire second half of this movie, them nips be popping.
Yeah, I was like, oh, D-Train's probably going to bring that up. And there he did.
Well, sometimes you have to bring up nipples. Like it's like, if you're watching Scream for the first time and that Rose McGowan scene comes up, it's not, you can't pretend not to notice that.
They're on purpose. You're supposed to notice them.
Yeah, and I felt the same way about this. I feel like they must have been icing down her nipples before every shot.
Which I think is a weird choice because she's supposed to be like such a tough character, but then they're like, oh, look at her boobs, though.
Well, that was the world back then.
Yeah, I guess so.
She is like a way tougher character. Like that was
Absolutely.
My problem.
She's really cool.
My main problem with Night of the Living Dead with the Barbara character was that she was essentially useless the entire movie. Like she was just in a catatonic state. Whereas she plays that at first, but she slowly like gets into it and like becomes part of the arguments, and she's in the right at some points even more than...
And she always wants to leave. She's like, they're so slow. We can easily just get out of here and leave. And they're like, no. And then she eventually does leave.
I mean, it's the final girlification of Barbara, because I think the 80s were all about final girls, right? It was slasher times. And so every movie had like one like cool chick that like made it to the end of the movie and was the hero. And so I think they just figured like, well, it's a Night of the Living Dead for a new era. Now Barbara's a final girl.
Yeah, and I thought that the way they get to it worked with the whole ending, which we'll get to. But I really loved all that. What did you mean? Was it your Letterboxd review that I saw where you said that this was like the Psycho remake? What did that mean?
Oh, yeah. It's just because it's just like the same movie, but color.
But I didn't really think that it was that similar. I thought that they did enough differences.
I think it's until the very end. I think it's very, very similar.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a few of the differences. They mixed up their name differences. The mom got buried.
Yeah.
She's way tougher in this one. The explosion that they do, how it's like it's not Ben's fault this time. He doesn't fuck it up.
That's
how he
true.
like falls off and it's actually
I appreciated
Tom's fault
that.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That whole scene, I was like, how's Tom gonna fuck this up? And you see, or like
The whole ending is different. The whole ending of this movie is different.
I said the ending. Yeah, I think the ending's very different, but
Very cool too.
a lot of it is like shot for shot, word for word from the original.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a I did like some of the streamlining though. Like I said, just making it the dead mom makes sense to me. And also the fact that they made the house Tom's uncle's house. Like it's not just like everyone happening upon this house like it was in the
Uncle
original.
Reed,
Yeah, and his cousin Satchel.
cousin Satchel, and Uncle Reed. Yeah, they weren't in the original.
Yeah. So I appreciated that. Tom and his girlfriend, they made them hayseeds in this one. In the original, they're kind of just like generic teens. But in this one, they're like Tom and Judy Rose, right?
Judy Rose, yeah, she sucked. I hated
Get
Judy
the
Rose.
fuck out of here.
Are you serious?
This actress who played Judy Rose, Katie Finneran, has the best career of probably anyone we've covered in this franchise.
Well, good for her. But what are you talking about? Tony Todd's in this movie.
Oh,
Big
you're
Final
right, you're
Destination character.
You're right.
She had like a scream that was like the worst, most annoying. I mean, I guess on purpose. She's terrified, but I couldn't handle it. It was so annoying. I would kill her honestly if we were in the
my
apocalypse,
God.
and that was how she handled zombies being around. I would kill her because that's the situation. That's what it is always.
We gotta get downstairs quickly!
Well,
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't really look at her objectively because the whole time I was just like, "Oh, Katie Finneran. It's nice to see a friendly face."
Where do you know her from?
Well, I know her from a lot of TV. She was on the show Wonder Falls that I loved that got canceled pretty quick. She was on that Bloodline. She was on Brockmire. She's on The Gilded Age. Like a lot of shit.
All right. Well, I just thought she was.
You'd
pretty
know her.
impressionable
She
here.
was in Freaky.
I doubt I remember anybody from that movie enough to be like, oh.
Me neither. I'm not even sure I could picture the leads.
What are you talking? It's Vince Vaughn and
But who's the girl?
Catherine Newton,
Oh, right. Yeah. The
Ant-Man's
Wasp.
daughter.
Yeah, the Ant-Man's daughter. I prefer Ant-Man's other daughter from Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right, so they're all in there. I know you hated Cooper in the original. What'd you think of this Cooper?
I mean, he was probably the most similar of everybody, right? He just wanted to stay in that cellar.
And I was still agreeing with him at every turn.
That's so. They even go more into detail.
I know.
How Tony Todd lays it out. Like, you're stupid. It's better to be on offense than lock yourself in the cellar. And he's like, no, I like cellar. And you're like, yes, Mr. Cooper, you're right. The cellar.
Listen, motherfucker.
Gotta go in the cellar.
Look at Tony Todd. He ends up in that cellar dead.
Which is proof that the cellar is bad. What how did that prove?
But it's proof that because he was trying to play offense the whole movie.
Should have gone in the attic. How do you have a
Still
cellar
ended
and an
up in
attic,
the
by the way?
goddamn cellar. What do you mean? How do you have a cellar and an attic?
Don't most houses, it's either like you got a basement or you have an attic.
No, my house had both.
Wow. I didn't know you were fucking rich. That's crazy though. Cellar and attic. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude.
I'd rather stay in the attic.
I
than
thought
the
he was
cellar.
gonna find some huge balls up there.
I would rather stay up there though, because if shit goes wrong, you can just break this roof and jump off the roof. If shit goes wrong in the cellar, you're trapped by just cement.
Yeah, but what? You're gonna jump off the roof? You're
What are
gonna
you gonna do in
break
a
your
cellar? Die.
legs. No, listen. If
You're not gonna break your
they,
legs jumping off a roof.
you know, all that
Jumped off the roof.
barricading, all that fucking barricading that they do. I can't believe we're talking about this again. All the
Well,
barricading of the windows and the doors that
They
they
do a lot.
upstairs.
They put like
If-
straight up, flat out doors in front of doors in front
Exactly.
of doors.
So if they took all those materials, like the table and shit, and just barricaded the basement door, they're
Yeah.
surviving this.
But that wasn't Cooper's plan. Cooper didn't even think as far as you're thinking. Like, that's a fine plan, what you're saying there, but he didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Cooper.
He just came out. He was like, "Hey guys,
dumb.
my plan is lock the
to
door."
me, like he's on the right track at least. Tony Todd is just like, let's just hang out up here and fight zombies. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Candyman.
His plan is fortify, not just hang out and fight.
But the fortifications suck, man. Those hands are constantly reaching through shit. They knock
Yeah.
out the power. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, maybe you need a better house. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, fucking
Weak
Uncle.
house.
They needed to go to.
Uncle Reed fucked up.
Yeah, Uncle Reed screwed the pooch on security. That's the problem. You need like a panic room. That's the people who
Ooh.
survived the zombie apocalypse. The panic room people.
Yeah, Kristen
Ri-
Stewart.
again,
Jodie
rich
Foster
people.
made it out.
The rich people know they are the ones that will survive everything.
Yep. It's very sad. I'm not rich, but I think I would survive. I have a lot of guns in a large house that I'm in.
You have a lot of guns?
Yeah, a lot of guns. I mean, I don't personally, but I have a grandfather that has a lot of guns.
That's fucking weird. You people in the South are weird.
Yeah, I don't like condone it or whatever. I own 0 guns.
Do you have an AR-15 pin?
No.
Have you ever
Like
shot
M16s.
How many guns have you shot?
Like how many different guns?
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
That's
no, 5.
crazy. That's crazy to me. Like I've never shot a gun. I've never considered shooting a gun. It's never appealed to me on any
But I
level
haven't
whatsoever.
in the last.
I know, but you
15
motherfuckers
years.
grow up doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a weird thing.
It is. I agree.
You're lucky to be alive, Logan.
I'm not that lucky.
Oh my god.
All right.
All right. All right. What else you want to talk about?
The ending.
Well, I mean, we get into stuff before that. I like the way they changed the car blowing up. That Tom has the wrong key, and so he like starts shooting at the lock, but it hits the gas tank and causes.
I thought this whole scene I thought was very annoying. I didn't feel like. I don't know. Some of the. I mean, not to like bash on Tom Savini, but I thought some of the direction was a little weird because he's like, go back and get him. But while he's saying go back and get him, he's also shooting the pump, trying to get the gas working. It seemed like I didn't really understand his plan. Like how the script was weird there.
No, I understand it. I can explain this.
Yeah, do it.
So fucking Tom and Tony Todd are in the bed of the truck, right? And Katie Finneran is driving. And so they lose Tony Todd at one point. Tom is yelling at his lady, "Hey, we lost someone. We lost our man, Candyman."
Ben,
And
call him Ben. His
Ben,
name's
I
Ben.
forgot.
So simple.
I thank you, Ben. We lost Ben, and so, but she doesn't hear him. So she drives all the way up to the gas tank, and then he's like, "All right, well, we're here. You still need to go get Ben. You fucking left him." And she's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he's like, "I've been fucking trying to. Jesus." And
But he's screaming at her to do it, but he's also getting the gas thing at the same time.
well, no, yeah. Then
It's like he knew what the scene was going to happen, how it played out.
No. Then his plan is like, let me. Oh, I see what you're saying. The car wouldn't be there.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Put
saying?
the gas in.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
I get it now. No, Logan, you're right. That is sort of weird.
Yeah, I guess I explained it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing was like, my brain was like, "Why does this make sense right now?"
Yeah, it didn't really.
But I don't know.
Still,
but I like- and
pretty good set piece.
Yeah, I still like it. And the part where she's like, she explains like the reason she has to go. Like, one person has to drive, and one person has to do the gas, and one person has to be a passenger. And you're like, what? What? Okay, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
It explains why she has to go and die too.
Right,
They
exactly.
didn't really do that in the first one. They didn't really explain. They explain it more in this one why she has to go, I think.
Yeah, they didn't have Cooper helping him out with like Molotov cocktails in this one.
Yeah, they skipped that whole sequence.
Yeah,
I liked that in the first one.
I did too.
Is this better than no, it's not. But
No,
this
of
is
course
pretty
not.
good too.
No, this is solid
Yeah,
remake, man.
I like
if you're one of these people that are like, I can't fucking deal with black and white, you could do worse than this.
Well, this is in color.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. But the black and white, like they're very similar, but just the direction and the tone are way different, right?
Well, I would argue that George Romero is a better filmmaker than special effects artist Tom Savini.
Yes, and I think it's because of the black and white, because they had to hide the zombies so much in that first one. The shots are just like zombies walking in fields and stuff.
Yeah. Well, budgetary too. It's true. So I couldn't believe this ends with like Ben and Cooper shooting at each other. I'd forgotten that about this movie.
Yeah, flat out. It's like just a gun battle.
Yeah, like the zombies are coming in from the outside, and they're just like, "Fuck these zombies."
They kill a cop, right? And they steal a cop's gun. They're like, "Cop zombie, let's take his gun." and
Yes,
shoot at
that's
you.
right.
That was like very coincidental.
What about heroin addict zombie?
What happened there? I don't remember that.
There was a zombie that was like coming in.
We saw a butt, by the way. Remember? No
Oh.
boobs in either of these, but we did see a butt in this one. Am I
Well, it was
right? Remember
man
from the
butt.
first two. No, there was a woman butt, right?
I don't remember that. There was a man
so.
butt when that dude. Remember, she sees like a guy in a suit, and she's like, "Help me!" And then it turns out that's a zombie, and then his suit comes off. You see his butt.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about a woman later. We see her butt too. So two butts.
I was too distracted by them pops.
I know.
All right, so but there was a heroin addict zombie. That you see a zombie walk by, and his like arm is tied off, and he has a hypodermic needle stuck in it, almost
Wow.
like he became a zombie at the very second he was injecting heroin.
Yeah. I didn't really put that much thought into it, but I guess you're right about that.
That was wild, man. All right, so yeah, let's get to the ending because it's kind of insane. It's like this crazy backwoods hell, like she wakes up in, and like they're shooting at zombies that are like tied up on nooses, and they're selling sausages and shit, and
They had like battles, right? They were like zombies in a fence battling, trying to kill people. That's like a Walking Dead thing, right?
I know. It really struck me on the watch of this movie. It's like everything from The Walking Dead is taken from some Dawn of the Dead property.
Yep. I noticed that too, and I'd never really known it.
Yeah. So that was something that was going on in the governor's town. What was that
Yep.
town called?
Damn it, Woodbury.
Oh yes, very good.
Yes, all I could think of was Terminus at the time. But yeah, they put Daryl in one of those things. I think he's like maybe Merle's in it too. I don't know.
Could be, man. You mean Yondu?
Yondu, of course. He was in Guardians 3. That was fun to see him.
I just saw Michael Rooker in something else too. The Rookie. I watched The Rookie.
Should have been called the Rooker. We should make the Rooker just about Michael Rooker.
Logan, you knocked that out of the park. I gotta admit. All right. So she makes the subtext text by saying, "They're them, we're them, and they're us." And it's like, oh, that's the theme of the movie. Very good. But she goes in with like a crew of people. They're like burning a huge pile of zombies, like just a funeral pyre of zombies. And then she goes into the house. I think the intention is to save Tony Todd, but Tony Todd shows up as a zombie, and she's like, fuck, and they kill him. And then Cooper pops down from the fucking attic, still alive, and just like, you fucking came back. That's great. Hey, good to see you, pal. And Barbara just shoots him in the fucking head. It's like the original ending of Night of the Living Dead is dark, and this is just as dark, just in like a different way.
Yeah, but I think that one's more dark because this one is like revenge, and I'm on her side, so I'm fine with it. The other one's just like,
No, for sure. This one, you could imagine like Barbara at this point is like the Sarah Connor of like the zombie apocalypse.
to me, she was.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
But yeah, like in the original, like nobody survives.
But I loved it. I loved the ending. I was like on the edge of my seat wondering how they're going to do it because at this point they were handling things different. Like at this point,
Yeah.
we're not Night of the Living Dead anymore. They're like doing things differently. I don't know what's going to happen. And so I was on the edge of my seat. And then
I thought they might have like Barbara kill Ben by accident or something. Like, you know how Ben gets shot through the window at the end of Night of the Living Dead, the original? I thought it might have been the same thing, but it's Barbara who takes the shot.
that would have been upsetting.
Yeah. But that's not where they went. They went somewhere crazier.
Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was really cool.
It's awesome.
And I almost wanted to go 4, but I'm gonna go 3.
Yeah, it's
I'm definitely between 3 and 4 though. I enjoyed it.
All right. Yeah, it's for
You didn't?
No, I do. I think this movie's underrated. It's like a totally solid Night of the Living Dead movie. But
zombies still look cool, even though it's not a drastic. It's better than the second one. I would rate the zombies: Day of the Dead, the first Night of the Living Dead, this one, Dawn of the Dead.
yeah, in terms of the makeup, I think I agree with you.
And the first one's makeup is probably worse. It's just the way they use the camera and the black and white's so cool.
Well,
So.
the whole thing with the original was they made it like the recently deceased. So like they didn't have to go too crazy. Like they're people that just died that are coming back to life. So like they would generally just look like normal people.
Yeah.
Whereas by the time of Day of the Dead, I mean, it seems like the zombie apocalypse has been happening for fucking years, and so everyone's decrepit.
Right. That's a great point.
Yeah.
And the next one, Dawn of the Dead, is that canon with this or no?
No. The Dawn of the Dead remake is its own thing, and this is its own thing, and then we'll pick up with Land of the Dead, which
Are those canon with these? Or
those,
with his
those are in
original?
canon with his. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Land of the Dead, a lot of the shit in that movie was from that original 200-page script for Day of the Dead.
Okay, this is very exciting. So, but you don't like that one as much? You say you like the original 3. You said, I remember at the beginning you said you really love the original 3.
No. I like all the ones I've seen. I love the original 3. Those are all classics. I think both remakes are pretty solid. And Land of the Dead, I think, is the 4th best of Romero's Deads that I've seen, but it's still like really interesting.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna watch the others.
Yeah, and then
week
Survival
4.
of the Dead and Diary of the Dead the
never
following week. I've never seen those, so that's very exciting for me.
Okay. Who are you gonna go MVP?
The Barbara.
Yeah, me too.
I fucking loved her, and like I go into it. I'm a Candyman guy, and I like Tony Todd from other shit. Like
I'm a Final D guy. That's what I love.
Yeah, I like him from Chuck. Also, he's in that.
Wow.
But fucking, she really impressed me. She's cool as hell.
Yeah, I like it when she's leaving at the end and she's like pointing the gun at the zombies as she walks past them. Like
Yes!
they make a move. I'm like, that's cool.
That
I feel like that's a Walking Dead thing.
And she's like not wasting bullets. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like if I don't have to shoot you, I'm not gonna waste these bullets.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, and it's just so cool after she shoots Cooper and they're like, what was that? And she's just like, just another one for the pile.
I thought they were gonna turn on her. It seemed like they sort of
I did
caught
too,
her.
I did
like they
too.
maybe heard him speaking and they're like, something's up here. But no.
No, they trusted her
Yeah.
because she's cool as hell. All right, who's your LVP?
Gotta go Judy Rose.
Oh,
She
come
was
now.
So annoying. Sorry.
I'll go. with Helen. I thought Helen was weak in this one.
She's the Helen Cooper, the wife.
Yeah, Cooper's wife.
That's another thing they changed. The daughter in the original kills her with a shovel, and in this one she bites her. Like a little shovel, like a little knife shovel thing.
Oh,
a
I
little
didn't
tiny
notice.
garden shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this one she bites her.
What did you have to say about the daughter? You said you had some stuff on her. Because
Mainly just her name. I just
thought
wanted to bring
she
up
was
her name.
Cool. She was cool looking.
Yeah, she was cool. I just wanted to bring up her name. Why did they name her the main character from the last movie? Her name was Sarah. That was just my question. Why'd they change her name?
I guess
From
I don't
Karen
know,
to Sarah.
man. Maybe it was a shout out to the last movie.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand. But you said earlier that he thought Karen had met a mean Karen or something.
No, that was a joke about the name Karen.
Oh, I thought he actually had an encounter with a woman named Karen.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't actually know.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, this episode is short, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a remake of something, and then you got anything else on Day of the Dead? Should we go back?
I liked when Bub was listening to Beethoven.
Okay, which one was that? Was that his seventh symphony?
I don't fucking know, dude.
his
What
ninth
do I
one?
look like, Henry Papali?
No, you don't. He's much more handsome.
Hey, that's so mean.
I was just kidding. I was a lie.
Oh.
You're way more handsome.
Thank you.
He's ugly. Just kidding.
He's not ugly.
You think he's ever listened to an episode I've been on?
No. I think the second he left the show, he never thought about it again.
Yeah. Does he like Buffy?
No,
Like he actively dislikes it, or he's just never been.
I
into
think
it?
he tried to get into it and couldn't.
Really, that's
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll have him on season 4 finale or premiere.
I want to have Henry back on the show to finish Bond at some point. That's really what I want to deploy that for.
It's only the Craigs left, right?
And the Brosnans.
Oh, really? I thought one time you told me there was only Craig left.
No, we finished with the Timothy Dalton.
All right, well, that's all right.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week for Zachy Boy and Land of the Dead. And patreon.com/the franchise. Please stick around there. And if you're not listening to that, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The shows on there are better. So this week we've got Hey, I'm Watching here as always.
We have a real show tomorrow. Right?
That's true. Yeah, if you're not on the Patreon, you'll still get to hear the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 episode.
Spoiler alert! It's good.
Yeah, we both liked it. But later in the week, Hey, I'm Watching here. I'll talk about season 5 of The Rookie Gang. I'll talk about the Pete Davidson Peacock show, Bupkis. All right? I might talk about Lost season 6 if I can finish that. So much great stuff coming your way. And then, of course, on Buffy's Angels, we'll be discussing Faith, Hope, and Trick. Big episode. The people who know Buffy already know it's a big episode from the title.